some stuff to tell you. Sorry, I have been really bad at keeping up to date. Do you know the feeling when so many things are happening and you just forget telling one thing, and then one thing leads to another, and then you don't know where to start catching up, and then it gets even more, and then all of a sudden nobody knows what's going on. So that's what's happened. But I'm here now to tell you everything, and I want to tell you 3 things that are happening in my life right now and that will be happening in the future. So, where do I start? The first thing is, as you know, I recorded some music. As you know, I've been writing songs like crazy this whole year. And I recorded them all for you with so much love. I recorded them all for you with so much love. And I put all of my heart into these recordings. And then I didn't know how to go further because I have never made an album in such a professional way. So I'm not really good at that kind of thing. So I did all the recordings and I didn't know how to go on. And then I met this guy called Winfried Rimbach-Sator. And he has a label called Exo10. So what happened is I signed with that label, and it was a really good decision because I really like that guy and we can work together really well, and he's good at all these things that I really suck at, like online sales and calling people and organizing, mastering things and making time plans, and I'm just a chaotic artistic mess, so I don't know. But he's really good at that and he's really helping me out. So I signed with a label, and the name of the label is Exo10, and if you pronounce it in German, it kind of sounds like Exoten, which means exotic people. And the story behind this label is really beautiful, I will tell you. So it's a story about a village, and everybody's really hungry and starving and poor, and nobody has enough to eat, and people are really introverted, and everyone is just trying to survive one by one. And then this guy comes to the village, and he comes there, and then in the middle of the marketplace, he starts making a soup. And people are coming, and they're like, what kind of soup are you making? There's no food in the village. And he says, oh, I'm making a stone soup. You're very much invited to eat with me. So he's making that stone soup, and people are like, what? But you cannot eat stones. But he's really insisting on it, and he's so friendly. He invites everyone. And then one guy says, well, if you're making a stone soup, I have a few potatoes. I will throw them in. So he puts his potatoes into the soup. Just water and stones for now. He puts the potatoes in, and then another guy says, well, I have some carrots, and I am glad to add them to the stone soup. So he puts his carrots in, and then somebody adds his cabbage, and the philosophy behind it is that in the end, they have this really beautiful soup, and that if somebody just starts putting a pot there, and people are just adding things together, actually everyone can survive. So it's just about providing and mixing skills and what you're good at, and just feeding a whole village. And what I thought was really funny was that my name is Pernilla, and that means little stone. And I think that's cool because it's just a really important ingredient of a good soup, a little stone. So I thought it was a really good sign. So I signed with a label. That's number 1 that I had to tell you. And number 2 is that the album is coming out like super soon, and you can buy it. The pre-sale is starting next week, and if you want to not miss anything about it, just keep checking here because I'll post a button here to the web shop where you can actually buy it, and you can pre-buy the album, but you actually will hold it in your hands within 4 weeks, and then I will do a release, like every musician does with their album, except for I will do a release tour, and it's gonna go till Christmas. It's gonna go really crazy. So, where do I start? I quit everything, and I'm starting a new life, and you will be very much part of it because I will just do living room concerts, because living rooms are where music is born. And there's nothing I love more than playing a living room concert where you create something and an announcement turns into a conversation, and the faces are so happy and they're glowing like thousands of little suns in the night, and living room places with a tiny audience of about 30-40 people is really what music is made for, and that's what I want to do music for, and that's what I want to do. So I quit everything, and I will move into my bus, and I will play living room concerts every weekend. And the tour is called the Regenwurmretter Release Tour, and if you want to find out about it, you can go to my website, pernilla-canapen.com, and you scroll down and you see a map, and on that map there's a lot of living room concerts already. There's little dots and then dates, and it's called Regenwurmretter Living Room Concert, it's called. And if you find your spot on the map where you live, you can see if there will be a living room concert close to you. And the idea is that Regenwurmretter are beautiful people in the world, and I want to connect Regenwurmretter with each other. So if you are Regenwurmretter, you can find a living room of another Regenwurmretter on the tour, and you can just hit me up, write me a message, and I ask if you can come along, and then you will come into a whole living room filled with Regenwurmretter, and you will witness a beautiful concert. And then in the evening I crawl into my home on 4 wheels, and I cuddle with my dog, and then in the morning I'll drive on to the next living room, and I will do that till Christmas, and I just can't wait until it's starting. And I'm so excited and freaked out and excited and scared and excited and nervous, and I just can't wait for it. And you will be part of it, and I will keep you updated. So this will be starting in the middle of August. In July I'm doing a tiny tour with Quinta, my duo partner, through Amsterdam, and I will already have my album with me, if you didn't pre-order it, and you can buy it there. I will be at the Open Up and the Loungeable festivals as well. And then I take some time off to prepare for the tour and get the bus ready, and then mid of August I'm starting. So there's an album, there's a label, and there's a tour. That's the 3 things that you know now, and I'm sorry if I didn't keep up to date, and I promise from now on I will keep things clear, and I will tell you these things, and I will be better at keeping you up to date. And I'm so glad to be here. This is one of my most favorite places in the whole world. This is a place where I can always go when I'm sad or tired or lonely or happy. This is a Bauwagen in the middle of nowhere, and I love it. I have a key, and there's a little oven, and there's a bed, and there's a coffee machine, and there's a violin and a dog. And that's all you need. So I'm here writing songs, being happy, and telling you about how happy I am and how life is gonna start now. So yes, check out EXO-10. This guy is really cool. It's a really small indie label, and yeah, you'll not regret it, and I keep you updated about everything that's gonna happen and that's gonna come up, and I love you. Lots of love to you from a tiny Bauwagen in the middle of nowhere.